working with another 𝓷𝓸𝓬𝓲 Designs die today. This one is the 3D bag, or I think it's 3D purse. I will have the link in the description for you, and I will have a discount code. So if you want 10% off of your order, use code PS10 and that will get you some money off. I have pre-cut all of my pieces here. I am using some, I don't know if you'd call that pink or purple glitter card. And then I'm using this really pretty tree paper from Rosie Studio, sprinkled with cheer, I believe. So I've cut all of my pieces. Please ignore the pink glitter pieces on the left. I cut them out wrong. You needed 2 with the tabs on the edge. I've only cut out 1, so I do go ahead and fix that shortly when I realise. But I'm just adding some double-sided tape onto these pieces. I'm adding double-sided tape all over this one as this will be the base, so I'm not going to bother adding any stitching to this. And the other 2, I am adding a strip in the centre just to hold it in place while I stitch. Don't add double-sided tape where you're going to stitch. It will ruin your machine. Take it from my experience. So here I am realising that I need another piece like this. So I disappear and cut that out. Unfortunately, I only had a slightly darker purple card, but it doesn't look as different in person as it does on camera, thankfully. So I just went ahead and cut that out, and I have stitched those panels on there. And then I've added some stitching to the bag side pieces as well. Using gold thread in my sewing machine at the moment. This is the Coats & Clark thread. I get it from Amazon. If you have any questions or need any links, do let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Just assembling this little bag. This is so easy to assemble. So the tabs make it super simple to line up. I'm adding my little silicone mat there so I don't get hot glue all over my desk. Adding it on the other side, popping the other side of the bag down. This pink mat that I've been using, a friend got it for me, my best friend got it for me, and I love it. I love it so much, and it's fading and it's not the right shade of pink anymore, and I've got a new one and I just can't bring myself to swap it out. I just love this one so much. Adding these side pieces on now, again, super simple, use the tab to line it up at the bottom, and then as you add the tabs along the side, it curves nicely to match the bag. I'm using hot glue to put this one together because I like how quickly it dries, holds everything in place super speedy, which is great for things like the curved edges here. So I add a bit of hot glue to a couple of the tabs, pop those in the right place, hold them for a few seconds, and then move on to adding the others. I end up adding the glue along the bag piece and then pop the tabs in the right place. Found that slightly easier. There we go. And then I skip forward and it's magically all assembled. Where I stitched the edge pieces and I didn't glue them down, they were popping up at the top there, so I added some wet adhesive and some clips just to hold those in place while it dried. And our bag is all assembled, so it's on to embellishing. I'm using Sprinkled with Cheer by Rosie Studio, and I'm just picking out some fun pieces to work with. I had some really pretty sequins on my desk that I wanted to use, so I grabbed one of these chipboard frames and decided to turn it into a shaker. Who doesn't love a shaker? These frames actually have adhesive on the back, which is really handy. So I peeled that off, added it onto some acetate, cut around the shape, and then I just need to choose some paper as my background. I go for another one of the Sprinkled with Cheer papers, so this one is some blue snowflakes. And I just roughly cut that out and then trim it to the right size. Add some of these foam tape strips, which are some of my favourite things to use. These ones are from Amazon. They make shakers so quick and simple. The amount of time I used to spend cutting my bigger foam tape down to the right size. And now I have these perfect little strips to work with. Using the sequins I had on my desk, these are actually from the pink shaker sort that I did last year. I made way too much sequin mix, so I kept a bunch for myself. And there you go. a simple little shaker to put on the front there, nice and speedy. I'm using this trim, which is my favourite thing in the world. This was shipped over to me from the US. A couple of lovely ladies sent me some, and I've been hoarding it ever since. It's so, so beautiful. But this bag was just perfect for it. So I've added some of that as a sort of base for my embellishment cluster. Straight across there, and then I'm hot gluing my shaker on top, making sure that all the pleats stay nice behind it. I always find that I place things down, I like where they are, and then I add adhesive, place them down again, and they've moved. It never goes down how I had it the first time. So looking for some bits to embellish this, I loved that holly leaves with the berries. Wasn't sure where it was going, but it was going on there somewhere. I really like this Santa on there. I like the size of it. The way it sort of didn't cover all of the shaker, but it looked like it was in proportion. Decided to add those holly leaves exactly where they were on the edge of the shaker. Wanted to create a little scene, a little cluster. So I grabbed this tree and I popped that sort of half behind Santa, I guess, in the background on some foam tape. Again, making sure the pleats of that ribbon don't get too messed up. I use the box that I actually keep my fake snow in to hold this bag steady. Because it's hollow, you sort of, when you're pressing down on it, I was worried I was going to mess the whole structure up. So I popped that in there so that I would have a bit of a sturdier base to work on. Adding 2 layers of foam tape to Santa. And then popping him on there, front and centre. Adding on a little selection of presents. So again, creating a little scene, that seems to be my thing. Adding, I don't know if I added foam tape or if I just hot glue that straight on there. But I put some presents at the bottom of the tree. This little cat is so sweet, and I knew who I was sending this to, and I know she loves her cats, so I popped that on there. I thought that was perfect for her. A little candy cane. Candy canes and presents go hand in hand, don't they? So pop that down. I didn't want to move it and mess with the placement, so I literally just held it in place, put some foam tape on, stuck it straight down. Wanted something to sort of include the cat in the layout, if that makes sense. I didn't like that he was just floating on the frame and not part of the whole scene. So I've popped a Christmas cracker down the bottom there. So it looks like he's standing around the tree with all the presents and Santa, which made my crafty brain much happier. These chipboard presents were perfect. They were slightly smaller than the ones in the embellishment pack, so they worked perfect for my little scene. And I added another one of these Amazon foam strips down there, some hot glue, and then popped my little chipboard presents straight down. Little pre-made cluster, which was really handy. And then I had a quick look through the rest of the chipboard for something a little bit extra, a little bit something else. And I found this Merry Christmas chipboard word sticker, which works perfectly in this little slot on the left. So I pop those there. I add some hot glue to hold those in place. There we go. And then it's onto gems. I usually use singular gems and sort of cluster them with all different colours and things. This time I'm going to use them in strips of 3. I can't remember who I've seen do this, and I love it. I absolutely love how it looks, so I thought I'd give that a go. So I've added a couple of strips of the iridescent gems there, and our bag is complete. I hope you have enjoyed watching me make this cute little Christmas bag, and I'll be back again to craft with you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!